Okay, guys, we're back again. I'm going to talk about. I've wrote down a few notes here, but this is not a scripted video, as per usual. Um, I want to be talking about how, again, both men and women simply don't understand each other. And this is not meant to be a rehashing of a already established video. This is just me. We're going to be talking about new things here. So, from the get go, I'm going to talk about a story that has happened to me today. Now, I'm talking in this way because my father's sleeping in the next room and I don't want to be too loud. But my coworker and I were talking. This is my best friend. My best friend and I work at the same place. At least from my perspective, this girl's my best friend. But she was um, she was asking me. She said somehow we got to the topic of dating, and I've talked about dating many many times, just as a as a talking piece of conversation. And so she understands where I stand on the whole dating dilemma and how I think it's kind of just a waste of time. But anyway, I said, I don't date for the most part because a lot of people say I have very high standards, and I really don't think so. I think my standards are pretty reasonable. But my standards were, as I had listed them out, I said, I'm not going to date a girl who drinks. I'm not going to date a girl who smokes. I'm not going to date a girl who is outside of my religion. So a non-Christian umbrella. Like, would I date a Catholic? Yes. Would I date a Orthodox? Yes. Would I date a um, Protestant or an Anglican? Yes. But I'm not going to date an atheist or a Jew or you know a Hindu or a Buddhist. I'm not going to date those people. And that's simply because our worldview doesn't match. And I feel like people don't understand that because people my age, which I'm 20, if you're tuning in just now and you're not familiar with my channel, welcome. Thanks for watching. Um, but people forget that the whole point of dating is to find your like wife. And I feel like the whole thing of Gen Z downplays the marriage aspect of life so much. Like nobody wants to get married, and realistically, I don't want to get legally married either. I'd like to get married by through a church, but I would not. I don't want to get married for the sake of getting married. Like in the legal system way, because I mean, even then, dependent upon where you live, marriage is dependent upon how long you live with that person. So if you live with them for like 5 years, you can be considered legally married. But anyway, besides the point, I was saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to date someone who drinks. And then because my friend is a girl and she doesn't understand the dynamic of how men view relationships, she said, "Well, what if they only drink on like special occasion?" And I said, "I've heard that one before, and that doesn't happen. Most people who drink all the fucking time. And if you think they don't, you're just lying to yourself because everyone I know who drinks regularly. They don't drink just like on New Year's or Christmas or whatever. I can record a lot on this video. This video won't be super long, I don't think, but um, we'll get to the chase here." And she's like, "Well, not all women, uh, drink all the time." And I said, "Yeah, but then they lie to you because they just want you to date them. They want to get the date. They want to get the date going, so they'll tell you like, yeah, I don't drink that often, even if they do, because my ex-girlfriend, who, like I said, this is why I don't date women who drink because it's a personal story. I don't date women who drink because women who drink tend to be, I don't know if I would say loose, but like they don't have their priorities straight. They really just don't have that like at all. So like just that's what I've witnessed is that they just value, drinking or something over the actual important shit. Because my ex wanted to drink all the time. She wanted to drink every time I was over there. She would get tipsy before I even came over, or she would go sneak in the other room and start drinking before, or no, as I was there. She'd be doing that. And that's why I won't date a girl who's gonna drink. I don't care what anyone fucking says. I'm not doing it. I don't care if that means I have to, die alone. I'm not dating a girl who drinks. It's just not gonna happen. But anyway, um, and they said, well, they just tell you that they don't drink that much, so you'll actually like date them. And the other guy in the room said, "Are you calling all women liars?" This shows you like the beta cuck, if you want to call it that. Be funny about it. This shows you that those guys are alive and well, bro, and they just kind of do whatever women tell them to do, and whatever is considered the popular opinion and the safe opinion, they'll just take that one. They'll just share that opinion because they know that's the safe opinion. That's the opinion you're allowed to have. So they'll just, regurgitate that one. And then since that's the one they're allowed to have, they just get away with it because that's the one they're always allowed to have. So what I'm getting at here is like if you're a person who's going to change your opinion for women, you're already losing because then you're not staying true to yourself. Because if I believe that I shouldn't date a woman who drinks, but I go behind my back and just go, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna do it whatever I want to get the girl. You already lost because you're not standing for what you believe in anymore. You're just kind of going about your day at the end of this because you're not even holding true to what you actually believe, and what you believe is that drinking all the time is wrong. If you're me anyway. But to get down to it again, women just, in my honest opinion, women don't understand men. I've met so few women who understand what men actually want from from a woman, and they don't get it, bro. They don't get it. This is why all these girls who go to college and who are going to college and oh, I'm a boss babe, and if you ever meet a woman who says to you, you can be friends with her if she says this shit. But if you ever hear a woman say, I'm a strong, independent woman, I don't need your help, she's not for you, bro. Don't date her. Don't date her. And if you're considering this a red pill video, that's fine because it's kind of, I wouldn't say I sit on the red pill, but I see how this stuff is happening in certain ways because this is some of this shit is ridiculous. Like if ever I hear a woman say, I'm a strong, independent woman, I know I can't date her. I know I can't date her. It's just not gonna happen because I know they're on some goofy shit. If we're gonna keep it real, they're on some goofy shit. Because women, here's the thing, man. Any woman who knows anything about men knows that men are people who look to solve problems. It's literally like just in our DNA. That's what we exist for. We're problem solvers. If you tell us a problem, we want to solve the problem. That is our inherent way of thinking. Right? So when you tell me you have a problem and you go, "Oh, well, I didn't really want you to fix this for me. I just wanted to talk about it." I'm not going to say that is pointless, but it's kind of counterintuitive to like talk to a man about it. Now, of course, when you're together, you guys are together and you love your boyfriend or whoever, your spouse or your partner, whatever you want to call it, then you're set. Just talk to them about how you feel and, but don't be mad when the man wants to give you advice to solve the problem and be like, "Well, babe, what if we do this? Honey, what if we do this? And this should fix that, right?" The woman doesn't want to hear that, and that's what the women don't understand. Or the woman doesn't want to hear your problem solving skills be flexed. And the man doesn't want to just be like, "Oh, there, honey, I am going to not fix this." That doesn't exist. See what I'm saying? That's not a thing that happens. And a lot of people just forget that men don't operate that way. Men don't exist in the void of, I'm going to just talk to you about the problem. We need to fix the problem. That's how men work, like I said earlier. So sorry if this video is a little bit circular or cyclical in nature, because there's only so much here that I can explain to you that you probably haven't already heard before. But I feel like men don't understand women and women don't understand men. And that's the way it's been since the dawn of time, essentially. Is that, Adam was out there doing what he was doing. He was hanging out with the animals and he was walking around the Garden of Eden, and Eve was on some other shit. Let's keep it real. Eve was on some other shit. She wanted to be, knowledgeable like God. And that's how we got here. The woman was on some different shit than the man was. And that's where your problem starts, is that since she's on something that's different than excuse me, her mind operates completely differently than the way the man's mind operates. And that's where you start to see problems. As well as, when you like, here's the thing, bro. A lot of women think they can just get you because they got tits and ass. They got boobs and a butt, bro. You know what I mean? They got box. And I'm not trying to be gross or filthy or dirty minded or anything, but a lot of women think that they got you because they got that. And you'll just do whatever they want. That only works so long for a lot of men. A lot of guys will kind of get caught up in it but not realize until a bit later. Excuse me. And then they'll inevitably go like, "Yo, lady, what is going on here?" See what I'm saying? So when that happens, that's when the relationship falls apart, because the man is out here existing in a way that makes sense to him, and the woman, or no, I'm sorry, the man is existing in a way that makes sense in provision sense or whatever, and he's in, but the woman is not really holding up her end of the bargain, which is what happened to myself, actually. Being that, I was doing what I needed to be doing, and she was tempting me into my sins, and I was like, "Yo, girl, we cannot keep doing this. This is not healthy for me." And she was tempting me, and she was also, had her own sins. She was a heavy drinker. And if you drink more than once a week, you're a heavy drinker. I don't care what anybody says. That's the medical definition of a heavy drinker. You're an addict. And that's not me to condemn you, but I'm saying, though, it's what's true. If you're out here doing that, you're an addict. Just like how if you watch, corn, probably more than a couple times a month, you're an addict. You have a problem. And these are things that people don't want to hear, but it's the truth. I don't care what anyone has to say about it. It's just what's true. So, women don't know what men like either. That's another thing I wrote down. They simply don't understand what men actually like. I've met so many women who think that men like women who are academic and are super smart and have all these goals and shit. And it's like, I'm not saying we don't find that attractive, but it's not anywhere near as important as a lot of other things. Like, if you don't have a motherly nature, like I couldn't see you raising children. This might actually be a longer video. If I couldn't see you raising children, then I kind of am uninterested at a point, because I know that me wanting to have kids is like partially not possible with you because you aren't good with kids. You know what I'm saying? Or you hate kids. So a man who knows what he's about is just gonna like not put himself in that scenario to where he's gonna be like, yeah, let me just ignore this so I can get my rocks off. And I mean, like, yeah, that shit happens. But when a man reaches a certain age, and this part of the partial, goodness gracious, the stutter was crazy. Hold on a second. This video is from a religious perspective, like I said, as you probably figured out from the Adam and Eve reference. But there are parts of the whole dating dynamics that are almost exclusively a secular issue. Because, excuse me again, goodness gracious, I got the yawns like crazy. A man will not stick around if he knows that something is wrong and it's the woman is not going to change and adapt to fit his needs, then he's not going to keep around. Especially if it's the woman that is the one who's causing the problems, essentially. Because, like I said before, oh, crap. I'm not gonna put up with this shit. A lot of guys aren't. That's why a lot of guys aren't dating. It's because I'm not gonna put up with this shit of you telling me how to live my life and this and that. But there's a middle ground. There's this middle ground where you meet in the middle, and it's like you understand that your partner does things, and you understand that you do things. But the problem is that you can't expect people to be different people, which is like how they say, don't save a hoe, don't be Captain Save a Hoe, because if you're Captain Save a Hoe, you can't wife the neighborhood hoe. Everyone knows this. We're gonna pause for a second. Everyone knows you can't wife the neighborhood hoe, and that transfers over into other related aspects of the dating pool. Being that if you try to wife the hoe, you can't make a wife out of the hoe. You can get married to the hoe. You can't make the hoe wife material. You see what I'm saying? If she's just if she's just a chick that you see for premarital, which is gross if you ask me, but you're not gonna make a wife out of that woman if she doesn't want to be a wife. That's what I'm getting at here. So if you do stuff like that, you're kind of cooked at the end of the day. Excuse me. Because it's just not going to happen. And that's what people neglect, is that if the woman is not already in a position where you can, how do you say this? How do you say this and have it make sense? Be articulate about it. If she's not in a position where you can already meet her where she is, and she'll meet you where you are, it's not going to work. This is why stuff falls through all the time. It's because the man wants a woman, but the woman doesn't want the man as they are, or vice versa. And that's where problems come in. Is because everyone has their exact idea of who they're looking for, and if they can't get it, they just won't date. And that goes for me too, because like I said, I'm not gonna date a girl who is not a Christian, because like I said, the whole point of dating and getting married is so that it's not just because you think she's cute, bro. Like, I hate to tell you guys that, like, you're not supposed to date because you think she's cute. You're supposed to date because your life plans match up, dude. Her being cute is a bonus at the end of the day. And that's what people forget all the time. That's why they go through so many breakups. Is that, can you see yourself, like, staying with this person for a really long time? If not, I'm not going to date him. I'm not going to date her. And a lot of guys are like that now, but a lot of women aren't like that. A lot of women are, I feel like, now I'm speaking from my experience of what I've seen. A lot of women are just out there for the thrill. You know what I mean? I hear women, like, here's the thing, dude. I feel like a lot of men, like, I see it. I see it happen all the time. It's all the guys who I know that have girlfriends are cucks. They're cucked. They're not exactly masculine. They're not exactly, the Indiana Jones or the Iron Man type, or Batman, Bruce Wayne. They're just like guys who are able to put up with the shit and give handouts to their girlfriend whenever they ask. And that's why they are able to keep girlfriends. I was lucky with my ex. She never asked me for any money, to be honest with you. That was an extreme rarity. But she drank all the time, so I had to leave. But like I said, there's so much shit, and this shows you is that This what I'm about to say shows you that men are picked because of their features almost exclusively. And men are for me personally, I don't pick for features, bro. Like if you know me personally, this is a lot of you might laugh at this, but I don't care. I don't like skinny women. I wouldn't say like fat women, but I like bigger women. I like women who are on, the bigger end of the scale. I like plus size type women. Like plus size white girls, that's my shit. Make fun of me if you want, I don't care, but if your BMI is under like 30, I can rock with you. But being funny. Um but yeah, if that's how it is, like I said, I don't even really care what she looks like as long as she's not like ugly as shit. I'll date her, bro. I'd wife the girl from the fucking McDonald's. That's how men are. Men don't care what you do for work. We do not care. We simply don't care. Like if I met a chick who thought she was hot shit because she's training to be a mechanical engineer, if I don't like her, I don't like her. That's not going to sway my opinion at all. So stuff like that is, like I said, this is why the dating market is so fucked. It's because everyone thinks they're hot shit, but like nobody is really hot shit. Like a lot of women at the end of the day are losers. And Dapper Dev was saying this, right? Like I know a lot of women who have nothing to their name, dude. They don't have anything to their name. And this shows you what I'm talking about right here. Is like I know so many women who are 18, 19, they don't know how to drive. They don't know how to drive. You see what I'm saying? Like 30 years ago, you'd be mocked for this shit. You can't do that stuff nowadays, man. Or I mean, you can, but like before, you couldn't do that. You couldn't be 18, 19, not know how to fucking drive, not have your driver's license. Like all these kids nowadays, because like I said, I'm Gen Z, I'm 20. All the people I work with don't know how to fucking drive, or they don't have cars, or if one guy calls off, five people have to call off because they're all being driven by the same dude. So like it doesn't. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of girls are losers, and that's not me like shitting on them. It's just me being honest. Like if a man, here's the thing, dude. If a woman sees a man who can't drive and doesn't have a car and doesn't have a money saved and doesn't have anything to his name and he's really scrawny or he's overweight or whatever, women are going to call him a loser. So if I see a girl who doesn't have a car and who doesn't have any prospects or any goals or has nothing interesting to do, she's fucking boring and I'm not she's a loser, right? That's how women talk about men now, because women say, "Oh, well, he's nice, but a lot of guys are nice. He doesn't have any money." See what I'm saying? I saw that video too. This is why I wouldn't say I'm blackpilled on dating, but I'm pragmatic about dating, because there's so much shit out there that's just stacked against you, bro. So much has been stacked against the average dude since day one, bro. And women don't understand this. They don't understand this. Like women don't understand this until they're like 30. Because my one coworker who I like talking to, she's like 28. She's got two kids of her own. She's got a son and a daughter. And I don't know if she was ever married, but she's still with her husband. So they have a good thing going. But I said to my friend, my best friend, that is the same age as, actually she's younger than me. She's 18. Um, what the hell was I going to say? I said, as the average dude, like if you watch this, put it in the comments, okay? Don't be. I know a lot of guys are afraid to put stuff in my comments. I swear, because people write comments and they delete them. But anyway, besides the point. Um, I said to her, I said the average life of most men is you have some friends here and there. Excuse me, you have like three at the max, and everyone else will just call you or text you whenever they need something. That's all they do. That's all that happens. And girls don't believe that when you tell them that. Like I told her one time, I said, this guy that we used to work with. His name's Chano. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not that important, but he was. Um, what the heck just happened? Oh, sorry. Um, he was like one of my best friends from the job, and he has my Snapchat. He has my Snapchat, and he has all barely ever texted me. And the first time he texted me is when he needed help looking for a job again. Like, you see what I'm talking about? Like, he hasn't texted me in months on end, and because he needs a job now, and he needs a job at where I work, so that's why he hasn't texted me this whole fucking time. And he texted me because I can do things for him. I can get him a service. I can provide him a service of a job, and that's why he texted me. He wouldn't have texted me otherwise. I fucking guarantee it. And he only texted me when he needed my help. And I was like, he was asking about getting his job back, and I said, I don't know. I asked the manager, and they said you got to be gone for at least a year, right? But like I said, women just don't understand men because the life of a woman is so drastically different than the life of the average dude. It just is. And she said, "Well, all my friends text me all the time," and I said, "Yeah, because you're a girl. Girl friendships are different than male friendships, guy friendships, whatever you want to say. They're just different. They aren't not the same. Like, no matter how much you say, yeah, they're like the same thing. That's just not true. If you're a dude and you have, female friends, you know their life is fucking drastically different than yours. It's just apparent. Say you don't believe that all you want, but it's, as a guy, that's true. Because I have friends from high school and they don't text me. They don't fucking text me ever. I have a Discord server with 3 of my friends from high school. Nobody texts in there fucking ever. Most guys do not want to be your friend unless they can get something from you because everything is transactional. And this is why I tell women sometimes, like, my actual, my friend from work, or her sister, or one of my other friends from work who, we all hang out every Saturday. But I tell him, I say, look, dude, a lot of guys will only talk to you because they like you. They like you, like, sexually or romantically. It's the only reason they'll talk to you. That's a lot of guys. A lot of guys are just like that, bro. Or they're only going to talk to you because, you look a certain way or whatever. And if a dude asks for your social media, he's not asking for your social media to be your friend. That's what they all forget about that shit. I say, because guess what, motherfucker? I'm a dude. I know how dudes think. Most guys and girls don't want to be friends. They only are friends because the other one doesn't want to have sex with them. Right? And I don't really view it that way. Like, my friend views that men and women can't be friends, but we're friends anyway. So, and she's routinely invited me back out to go rock climbing. But besides the point. Excuse me. Um, she was like, why do you, because we were talking about the dating thing earlier. She was like, well, why do you find it's hard to date? Like, do you have trust issues? I said, yes, I have trust issues. A lot of guys have trust issues. I don't know why that's so. She's like, oh, well, you should get therapy. I'm like, motherfucker, no, dude, I don't need therapy. I don't. Men do not need therapy for like 99% of men do not need therapy. I'll be totally honest with you. Unless you were like molested or something, you don't need therapy. I hate to tell you that. Like, I say, I don't have enough problems to go to therapy. I really don't. 99.9% of my problems would not be fixed through therapy. It's all mental stuff. It's all mental game. That's how you have to get through your shit as a man. Most of your stuff is mental because you can get through physical. I have been dealt some serious pain, some serious punishment, and I've been able to withstand it. But like the mental shit, you gotta understand how to get over the mental shit. That's what people forget, especially women forget, is that you have to be, the man has to be fortitude, has to have fortitude upstairs, or it's just not gonna, he's not gonna get over his shit. And then the woman needs to support the man. That's the thing, is that the woman has her own shit to be doing. And they like to tell the dudes, they like to tell the dudes that, like, oh, this is unpaid labor. I saw there was another article that was saying that doing stuff for their husband is unpaid emotional labor. I'm like, that's your fucking husband. Like, if my dad asked me to go help him, rake the leaves, or take the mower out and chop up the hedge clippings, I'm fucking doing it. It's not emotional labor. He's my father. I'm indebted to my father for creating me. You see what I'm getting at here? Like, there's no, well, oh, well, this and that. Well, what have you done for me? He's my fucking dad. Without him, I wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't be living in this fucking house if I didn't have my dad. That's how ungrateful a lot of these people are. And I'm not saying it's a women or men thing. It's a human thing. There's this level of, like, ungratefulness in, like, the average everyday conversation. You ever realize that? Like, I want to stay on topic on dating, but, like, if you ever realize people at your job or something gets broken and then it gets fixed, but, like, it's not exactly as it was before. That happened at work and somebody was complaining about it, and I said, are you really complaining about this right now? This is the most first world problem I've ever seen anyone have. I said, you're mad because the ice chest sticks a little bit at the last half an inch before you shut it. I said, you could have been in a car accident this morning and lost both your fucking arms. And you're gonna complain about the ice chest. Fuck you. That made me so mad, dude. Like I said, because people will complain about dumb shit, but not about actual problems. You ever realize that? Like, and this doesn't mean to be, a complaint. This isn't really a complaining video, at least not from my perspective. But it's like, a lot of this stuff can be so easily avoided. Like, if men and women would just admit to meet in the middle and be like, here's me, I'll take you for who you are if you'll take me for who I am, we wouldn't be in this mess. I'll be flat out honest with you. We wouldn't be in this mess. Because, like I said, women pick guys who are tall and shit. And, like, I'm lucky enough where I'm just tall enough not to be considered, like, average height. I'm 5'10". My friend he's literally 6'8", dude. I'm not even fucking playing with. He's tall as shit. If you're 5'10", I know I was talking about him a little bit in the last video. If you're 5'10", 6 foot, like 6'3" is tall. 6'3" is tall, like, a lot. I would say that's very tall. 6'8" is extremely tall. Okay? Like, holy shit. Anyway, that guy is 18. That's if you hadn't seen the last video that I talked about him in, where I was playing Lego Indiana Jones like I am now, he said he's had 5 girlfriends. At fucking 17. At 17. My father had 2 at my age. I'm doing just as good as he did, apparently. So that's another thing. If your parents, like your dad, whichever, your mom or your dad, whichever one that you align with, because if you're male or female, if you're a girl, had a hard time dating, you're going to have a hard time dating. And if your dad as a dude had a hard time dating, you're going to have a hard time dating. Like, I think I'm pretty decently handsome. I'm like a 5.5, 6 at the maximum. I ain't no 7. I'll keep it a fucking bean, bro. I ain't no 7. I don't have abs. You gotta have abs to be a 7. But anyway, where are we at? 30. Okay, we're about 35 minutes in. Let's talk. Let's see about a few other talking points. This is gonna be a long one. I had a feeling we're gonna be doing a long one. 99% of men aren't attractive to women. So we've already covered women don't understand men and men don't understand women. Women don't know what men like. I feel like men can. It's pretty easy to figure out what women like because women like being bought things and women like going out to see places and they like being cuddled and they like talking about their feelings and their music. Women love music. That's a thing. If you like, here's my thing. I'm a heavy metal, new metal, rock, industrial, post grunge and grunge era fan. So from like pretty much the late '80s to like 2010 rock era. That's like the best rock music ever made and rock adjacent. But like, I'll put that on and I'll be like, if a girl asks me like, "Hey, what kind of music do you like?" I'll show her like Nickelback or fucking Breaking Benjamin or POD or Chevelle or like Pulse Ultra is pretty cool or Seether. I'll show her one of those. I'll put one of those on or Earshot. Earshot's pretty good too, actually. I don't like to get anything too heavy, so I don't really put on any like Mudvayne for them or um, whatever else, Mudvayne or Corn. Corn's wishy washy with the heaviness, so like sometimes they don't fuck with Corn. But anyway, women like girlier shit. Like all like my three best friends, they like Hosier or like jazz music. They like the fucking Weekend. They think the Weekend is so cool and all of this shit. And you look at what women like, right? And this shows you what I'm talking about. You look at who women think are attractive as men, and you look at who guys think, what guys think makes them attractive is a totally different fucking ball game. Because 99% of men, like I said, this is the new talking point on this one, are not attractive to women. And if you look at the average girls, like if you look at your high tier Becky or whatever you want to fucking call them, I don't keep up to date with all the lingo. If you look at one of those, like my friend is, I wouldn't say she like mogs me, but she mogs a lot of girls. If I'm gonna be honest with you, um, and just because I say mog does not mean I'm black pill. This is just internet terminology. I know people understand it when I say it, but you look at her, she flat blows a lot of people out of the water. But you look at what these girls' ex-boyfriends look like, the high tier Beckys. Their ex-boyfriends are always like twinkish. They're always really scrawny dudes and with the long hair and they have no beard whatsoever. Like they're basically clean shaven 24/7. And they got like curtains and they wear like fucking nerdy glasses and shit. And you look at that guy and you look at you and you're like, I look fucking nothing like these guys. And that's how you can tell because like I said in another video, all of them said that um when they said they like men who are a little gay. They like men who are in touch with their feelings and shit and who are like into, poetry and shit. That's what women like. Women don't or that's what women men who like that are the guys who appeal to women. You see what I mean? Sorry, English is hard sometimes. But like guys who go to the gym and are like really about their fitness and you know, all that shit or are who are really into masculine shit like driving ATVs or pickup trucks and all that shit. A lot of women aren't into that shit. And that's where you have this disconnect, right? You have this instead of meeting like this, right? How like men and women are supposed to, there's this shit going on where the one guy is doing what he likes doing and the chick likes doing what she likes doing and it's not working. And that's why I feel like this is why tomboys appeal to a lot of dudes is because tomboys will actually sit there and fucking play a video game with you. Like if I had a girlfriend, right, to sit here and play Lego Indiana Jones with me, that'd be awesome. But I know tons of women are just not gonna give a fuck about that, right? So it's not going to happen for a lot of guys. Or if I had a woman who likes going hiking and like, all of that shit. Like, I find women who like doing things that I like doing, I find them more interesting. Now, I'm not saying we all have to do all the same shit. But if you're a dude and you can go to your one of your girlfriend's things or whatever and actually like have fun, you're gonna just enjoy your time a lot better. Because, excuse me, I think we're gonna get some more water here. Um, if you can go out to your girlfriend's thing and actually have fun there, you're already winning and you're doing a lot better than a lot of other people are. Because, excuse me. Um, because like if I was to date my best friend, I would actually have fun doing the things she likes doing, which is like rock climbing and shit like that, and I would actually enjoy my time doing these things. But if I'm not able to go out and do a thing that I like doing, I'm gonna enjoy my time with my girlfriend less. I'm sure that makes sense. Or that's a pretty basic explanation of what's going on here. So that's where the disconnect is. A lot of guys do shit that women don't like doing. Like a lot of women, most girls I've met don't like going to the gym. And I love going to the gym personally. It's like my main hobby, going to the gym and playing guitar. If you told me I couldn't do either of those, I wouldn't date you. Just straight up, it's not happening. So I would just be like, I would rather be single. And that's another thing is that um, why I said going back to the, I have about like I have like over 10 minutes. This is gonna be like an hour long video. I don't really give a shit. People probably won't watch it, but at least I'll be getting my thoughts out and I'll have a reference point for myself in the future. But anyhow, a lot of women simply like look at me, and I'm not trying to be like shitting on myself because I think I look good. I think I look like a handsome young gentleman. But you look at me. This might not be the greatest example because the camera is looks. I look worse on camera than I do in person because I have a shitty camera. But if I, maybe one day I'll get an actual recording camera. Um, I have a very dimorphic face. I don't have hollow cheeks or anything, but there's basically nothing feminine about my face at all. I don't think. I have a very like if I look straight on, I have a very square face, and I have a very square face. I have like kind of like the warrior skull a little bit, like Jason Statham. I don't think it's as pronounced as his is, but I definitely don't have like a round anything. And women like feminine looking dudes, like I said, and I'm not feminine looking at all. I don't have you know a overly shaved beard, like over trimmed where it's I trim it I cut it every day, or I don't have a skincare routine or any of this shit. I'm too busy for all this shit, dude. Like I work for a living, and like a lot of women just are not attracted to fucking like the average dude. And like I think my best friend has asked out more women than dudes because like I said, we live in a time where the majority of what's going on does not appeal to the average dude. If that makes sense. Like a lot of women are, especially if you're a Christian dude, bro, good fucking luck. Because I have not dated in 2 years. 2 years. My last relationship ended or started. My last relationship started this time 2 years ago, and it ended in May 2 years ago. So once we hit May, I'll be in full 2 year. I'll be 2 years single. See what I'm saying? This shit doesn't happen to women. Women don't go this fucking long single, bro. It does not happen. And that's why I keep telling people women simply don't understand the life of a man. They just fucking don't because it's so far different than anything they have experienced that They just don't fucking get it, bro. Like, I'm not trying to hate on women at all, but you guys just don't fucking get it because it's so different than anything you deal with on a day-to-day basis. I've never been flirted with by a woman that's my age. It's never happened. I made the first move with my last girlfriend, but I'm saying I've never had a woman out of the blue tell me that she thinks I'm attractive. It's literally just never fucking happened, bro. I don't mean to be like black pilled at all. It just never has. I don't know if it's because of the anxiety shit, because every chick I fucking met has anxiety. Like, I'm not even being funny, bro. Like, my best friend has anxiety, and her sister had anxiety, and it's like, how the fuck do all of you have anxiety? Anxiety for what? I don't understand. I literally, like, the more you try to understand, the more it hurts my fucking brain, because you can't have anxiety for what? Like, actually, like, why like, some people get so upset and so anxious and shit, and I'm like, what we work at the gas station. Like, huh? Anyway, um good luck, bro. Good luck meeting a girl as a Christian man who's doesn't drink and doesn't smoke and doesn't fucking worship, you know, celebrities or some shit, or isn't bisexual, because I'm not dating a girl who's bisexual. I don't care. I'm not. I said to my own friend, I said, imagine you come home from work early and she's cheating on you with another woman. You fucked up big time, bro. I'm not even saying it's you personally, but something fucked up big time. You did, she did, both of you did. Something went way wrong. If you come home and she's cheating on you with a woman, bro. I'm talking. I would probably like, I'd probably jump out the fucking window. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying. That's how bad this shit is. And if your girl's not bisexual, it's not gonna happen. So, and it's like, even if you go to church and you meet a church girl, these church girls fucking don't really love God, and they don't really, embrace his fucking will and his testimony to the people of Earth, and how we need to follow him, or we'll just perish. That's true. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone I know doesn't believe in God. I'm being so fucking for real, and it's so. I mean, I need to move somewhere where people do believe in God, because I don't know if it's just the modern what's it called, the modern ethos projecting that Christianity is bad, because they've been doing it for like 10 years now. Because, like, every time I talk to one of my friends, they don't believe in God, bro. Like, all my friends from work don't believe in God. I think I have one friend, maybe. I have to ask him if he believes in God. But he was like, actually, like, yo, dude, good on you. Good on you for believing in God. He literally was like excited for me that I believed in God, and that I was like, I expressed one time, in conversation, I was regretful for having premarital, and he was like, wow, dude. He was like, "You're real for that. You're real for that." And he's another awesome friend of mine too. I got his phone number recently, and I texted him the other day, and he brought me some stuff that my other coworker made for me. She made like salsa or something. So I have yet to try that, but I keep checking the time. If you wanted to know, I'm wearing these glasses so I can filter the red lights out while I'm in here in the good lighting, and because I don't, I'm gonna go to bed right after this. But, like, you can't you can't escape the fact that most men have never been flirted with, like, ever, by a girl their age. Like, literally all the women who flirt with me are like 40 years old or older. And people are just fucking dickheads, because they were saying to me at work the other day that I could pass for 30 years old. And I'm like, you're a fucking liar, dude. You've never seen. I said, have you seen a 30-year-old? Do you know 30-year-olds? So when my dad was like 40, I thought he was 30 years old. And when my mom was like 47, I thought she was in her 20s. See what I'm saying? So, like, I have like youthful genetics. I don't really carry, like, people say, like, oh, well, your forehead does that when you do that. Everyone's fucking forehead does that because they got extra skin. If you didn't have that, you couldn't move your eyebrows. We got like 8 minutes here on the clock. But most dudes have never been flirted with, and then that's another thing. There's another thing on top of that, is that women will take that and use that against you, because they'll pull out all this flirtatious shit to get your attention, and just to get you to buy them something or whatever, or to give them a ride somewhere, because they know you don't see that in the real world ever. You, the person in question, the guy in question, because most men just get zero fucking attention from women. I'd say like the top 15% get attention from women, and otherwise they get nothing, bro. They get nothing. And I'm not downloading a fucking dating app. I'm not going on Tinder. I'm not going on fucking Bumble or anything. I'm not doing that shit. You know why? Because those are hookup apps. Everyone knows these are hookup apps. It's the primary reason they're used is for hookups. And don't fuck with hookups. And I've told people, I told them at work today, I said, when I tell a typical woman, I'm not gonna fuck you until we get married. I'm not gonna have premarital sex with you. All my coworkers were like, "Oh, well, you have to find somebody who's down with that." I said, "No one's fucking down with that anymore. No one's okay with that anymore. Everyone wants to get because people say, "Oh, well, you don't know that you're sexually compatible." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm the most vanilla guy in existence, bro. Anything is good stuff. You know what I mean?" So like you can unless she's on some weird shit, bro, like whatever, I didn't pause it. Unless she's on some weird shit, I'll be totally fine with it. It's like the stuff I'm into is normal stuff. Like even then, I'm not trying to be, perverse in this video. But like most guys are into normal shit. We're not into like women are the ones who are into fucking weirdo shit because you read female romance fantasy, and it's all weird shit. It's all the fucking Morning Glory milking farm and the werewolves and the dinosaur half lizard creatures and there was some like werewolf turkey thing, were turkey book for like Thanksgiving. It's like it's all monster porn. Let's keep it real. That's all the shit they read. Most guys are just like, just hold my hand and let's go walk in the park and have a picnic and let's go, I'll push you on the swing and let's go take us walk through the forest or something. That's what guys want. And women don't want that. They want to get their back blown out, dude. Like, I'm not saying all of them, because when I say this, people say, oh, well, it's not all women, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not all women, but it's a lot of them. It's the majority of you guys. And the majority of men, we just want to relax. We just want to have our peace. We want to have our girlfriend be loving and caring and, be able to have responsibility over children. And we like to see how she interacts with her sister or extended family or her relationship with her parents. Like my one friend, I wouldn't date her because I see how she acts with her sister. And she's like rude as fuck to her sister. I don't think that's like cool or normal, but like everyone's like, oh, well, if you had siblings, you'd do the same thing. No, if I had siblings, let me articulate this. Hold on. If I had siblings, I would love them to no end. That's the thing people don't understand. Is like my father didn't end up having more kids, and he regrets it now because my family is literally just him. My father's my only family remaining, and once he goes, that's it. That's it. If I'm not married or have a long-term girlfriend or the prospect for one, I'm fucked. It's over. I don't have anybody. And, by the time I leave this job, I probably won't have the friends I have anymore because we're all connected via this job. And once you leave this job, you're fucked because it's where all your friends are from, is from this job. So once I leave, I'm screwed. I'm not going to have any more friends anymore. I'm going to have to start over again. And that happens to like the average dude. That happens to most average motherfuckers. They gotta start over like all the time, and it just gets so exhausting. And that's the other thing, dude. Is like when women are flirting, bro. When women are trying to be flirty. Excuse me. I flat out don't notice it, dude. I don't notice it because they give you the eyes. They give you the You know what I mean? Whatever shit they claim they do. And it's like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, they give the look, and it's like, please just tell me you think I'm handsome or something, or that you like my haircut, or the hoodie I'm wearing, whatever the fuck. Do something like that, because then like you're starting a conversation, you're holding my gaze now. Just because you glanced at me differently, that you think differently anyway, doesn't mean I fucking noticed anything. And like, that's the thing. Like, there's so many things online that are trying to bank off of your insecurity as a male. There's this one channel that was trying to say that, oh, well, men do this and that, and you're actually so handsome, and then I know you're handsome because you do these things. And said, I was like, motherfucker, I know I'm handsome already. But a lot of guys were saying in the comments, I know I'm not handsome because I have a mirror in my house. It doesn't matter what you say on the internet because you are effectively aren't real. You know what I'm saying? You're not part of my real life, so whatever you think and say doesn't matter. Like for the perspective of you telling me what I should be feeling about myself. Yeah, should you think highly of yourself? Yeah, but not too highly because you should be humble. That's the thing people forget about. But like dating is so fucked as a guy because like I said, you don't have many options. The options you do have are options that you probably don't even really fucking want because especially like I said, if you're a Christian, I was telling them like I'm not dating a woman who's a non-Christian. I'm not doing it. Don't care. I don't care if I have to wait 20 fucking years. I don't care if I'll be 40 years old when I find my wife, my soulmate. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I literally told her. Hold on. Let me I have like only a minute left. I told her, I said, imagine here's your dating pool, right? And I said, my dating pool is pretty much exclusively people that you would introduce to me. And I said to her, well, would you introduce me to any of your friends? And she said, no, they wouldn't like you. And I said, why? She said, all my friends are atheists or they're all secular people, essentially. And I said, so already the dating pool from your friend group looks like this. Doesn't exist. But I said, you take the dating pool of the people who fit in your bracket, right? Your age bracket. And then you go, well, I don't want someone who smokes. Already your bracket looks like this. Let's say like this. Your bracket starts looking like this. And then you say, oh, I don't want someone who drinks either. Your brackets, your dating pool shrinks every time you add a new prerequisite. Every single time. You know, I want someone who believes in God, follows Jesus Christ. It gets smaller and smaller. And then you only have like 10 people in your city that you could even fucking date. See what I'm saying? So, I won't lie to you, it's slim pickings out here. I meet no women who are feminine and friendly and my type. I meet none of them. I don't meet any of them because why? I'm a working man. I go to work all day and then I go on Saturday. I go hang out with my friends and on Wednesday that's my relaxed day. That's the thing. You gotta be out here fucking constantly. You gotta be out here running, searching, looking for women all the time, or else you're not gonna ever find your girlfriend. It's exhausting, and it's like I don't see the reason to play the game if all you get from the game is sleep disruption, anxiety, and pain.